I should say I've never danced like this before in my life.
I'll do it, Don. I'll do it, but I never want to see you again, on or off the screen.
I was terrified of doing a lift. He can't wrap his head around that kind of fear because he was completely fearless.
Some movie dances look effortless, but behind the scenes were hours of training, determination, and pure passion. Today, we're counting down 10 incredible times actors took on challenging dance roles and amazed everyone with their talent. Stick around, because the bonus performance at the end is unforgettable. Number 10, Emma Stone, La La Land. The golden age of Hollywood gave us some of the most unforgettable dance numbers ever filmed. So stepping into that style is no easy task. It's definitely not for the faint-hearted. Tap dancing in particular leaves no room for error. Every click of the shoes exposes mistakes, making it one of the toughest forms to master.
And I would say every day, how's Ryan doing? They'd be like, oh, he's amazing.
For a time, Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling even rehearsed separately, possibly because their dance experience levels were so different. Stone later admitted, "It felt like a mind game," explaining how she'd hear about Ryan's progress while she was still struggling with the basics.
For about 2 months, I just thought he was the most, incredible dancer of all time, and I was failing miserably.
But as she joked, the moment they finally practiced together, her confidence shot up. She realized she wasn't doing nearly as badly as she thought. Number 9, Renée Zellweger, Chicago. On the Chicago poster, only one star had real dance training. For the others, it was an entirely new challenge. Richard Gere had to start tap from the ground up, and his loud struggles in rehearsal quickly turned into a running joke on set. Director Rob Marshall originally hoped to use Renée Zellweger's cheerleading past, but it turned out she had almost no real dance experience. With just 6 weeks to prepare, she had to learn to sing and dance, treating movement as an extension of her acting craft. What's impressive is how naturally she kept pace with Catherine Zeta-Jones. In fact, Marshall believes Zellweger's rawness actually worked in Roxy's favor, making her performance feel even more authentic. Number 8, Kevin Bacon, Footloose.
I thought this was a party! Let's dance!
Before Kevin Bacon landed the role, the creators of Footloose had their eyes on a few other names. Tom Cruise was first on the list, thanks to his iconic, risky business dance scene. But his schedule didn't line up. Rob Lowe was another choice since he could actually dance. But an injury forced him to step aside. That's when they turned to Kevin Bacon, who openly admitted he wasn't a trained dancer. In fact, he confessed he didn't even realize Footloose was a dance-heavy film when he signed on.
I just kind of said, look, just turn the music on and I'll dance. It's going to be fine. But I didn't understand there was a whole choreographed thing.
Still, he rose to the challenge, training hard with a choreographer and even incorporating gymnastics to prepare. Although he handled most of the dancing himself, the famous warehouse sequence also relied on a stunt dancer and 2 gymnastics doubles. Number 7, Channing Tatum, Hail Caesar.
I'll see a lot of you and you'll see a lot of me.
Anyone who's watched Channing Tatum dance knows he has natural rhythm. But for Hail Caesar, he had to master an entirely new skill, tap. As Burt Gurney, a Gene Kelly-inspired character, Tatum performed a fast, full-length tap number. The challenge? He had never tapped before. What takes many dancers a decade to master, he had to condense into just 3 months of intense training. His choreographer, Christopher Gattelli, didn't take it easy on him either. Tatum admitted the process often felt like Mission Impossible.
I in no way, shape, or form knew how hard it was going to be. I just figured that I could learn the tap movement and it would make the sound. But what I found is that you really need to be musical.
With tap, musicality is everything, and as Tatum put it, those shoes don't lie. The toughest part wasn't the tempo itself. It was pulling it off while dancing on a table, where one wrong move could send him crashing down. Number 6, Jennifer Grey, Dirty Dancing.
Now I found someone to stand by me.
Despite Jennifer Grey's natural talent, this was one of those moments where art truly mirrored real life. Patrick Swayze had been dancing practically since childhood, while Grey was still fairly new to learning choreography. Her nerves were very real.
I was terrified of doing a lift. He can't wrap his head around that kind of fear because he was completely fearless.
Anyone who's ever worked with a less experienced partner knows patience can run thin. Fortunately, Swayze used that frustration to fuel his performance as Johnny.
You're in a nice position. You keep that position, and it's all up to me. Okay?
Don't get caught.
According to Grey, the iconic lift wasn't even rehearsed. She had been too afraid to attempt it. What ended up on screen was essentially her very first genuine try, which makes the scene all the more unforgettable. Number 5, Tom Hiddleston, Life of Chuck. One of his most unforgettable moments came on the Alan Carr, Chatty Man show, where his smooth moves instantly won fans over. Then came that breathtaking candlelit waltz, showing off his elegance in true leading man style. But the Life of Chuck takes his dance chops to a whole new level, for both fans and Tom himself. In The Life of Chuck, Hiddleston plays middle-aged Chuck Krantz, a mild-mannered accountant who surprises everyone by breaking into a spontaneous dance in the street at a conference. What starts as a simple beat from a busker becomes a full-blown 5.5-minute dance number. In interviews, Tom described the choreography as a complete education.
I should say I've never danced like this before in my life. It was such a thrill to try and approach the level of expertise that Chuck had in his early training.
The sequence was shot over 4 intense days in Alabama, where Hiddleston revealed he literally burned holes in his shoes dancing on hot asphalt in a gray suit under sweltering heat. Number 4, Debbie Reynolds, Singin' in the Rain.
I said, it's too hard. I don't know how can you do this? How can you all learn everything like this? This is so hard.
It's one of the most beloved movie musicals ever made, but while audiences have enjoyed Singin' in the Rain for more than 70 years, filming it wasn't nearly as joyful, especially for Debbie Reynolds, who had no formal dance training.
I didn't dance. I wasn't a dancer. So I had to keep up with Donald O'Connor and Gene Kelly. So you can imagine trying to do that.
At first, working alongside Gene Kelly must have seemed like a dream opportunity. But according to Reynolds, he wasn't exactly the most patient or supportive co-star.
I'll do it, Don. I'll do it, but I never want to see you again, on or off the screen.
The experience was so grueling it often left her in tears. She later revealed that Singin' in the Rain and childbirth were the 2 most difficult challenges she ever faced in her life.
It was, I had blood in my shoes, and it was very difficult to do those numbers as fast as they wanted them and as long as they wanted, over and over and over and over.
Number 3, John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever. John Travolta first caught attention on the sitcom Welcome Back, Kotter, where he showed off some early dance skills. He then appeared in Carrie as Billy, a role that couldn't be further from his next big break as Tony Manero in Saturday Night Fever. Travolta wasn't born a disco king, but he trained relentlessly, refusing shortcuts and even turning down body doubles because he wanted every move to be his own. His performance was shaped by inspirations like James Cagney and the funky energy of Soul Train, which he worked into Monero's style. And while many still picture him as Danny Zuko from Grease, Saturday Night Fever is where his true dance legacy began. A few years later, he returned to the dance floor in Staying Alive, proving his moves had become sharper and more sculpted. And just when the world thought his dance days were behind him, he surprised everyone again in Pulp Fiction. That now iconic twist contest with Uma Thurman was simply unforgettable. Number 2, Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. No matter how many times you watch Mary Poppins, it's still astonishing that Dick Van Dyke pulled off those dance numbers without any formal training.
He grew up miming without dance training. He has great movement training.
As a young man, he modeled his workouts after Broadway dancers, which likely explains his stamina, but not the sharp rhythm and coordination he displayed on screen.
When he moves into the choreography, he's able to get those steps. That was something that was a part of his movement quality.
The famous Step in Time sequence runs nearly 10 minutes, packed with demanding choreography. Yet Van Dyke breezed through it as if he'd been dancing since birth. Surprisingly, he said his toughest routine wasn't in Mary Poppins at all. It was the old bamboo from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
We all had to jump over our sticks at the same time. Every time one guy would miss. 23 takes we did it.
A routine that required props, stamina, and perfect timing with the cast.
And if you ever see the movie, I catch it on my heel, I go,
It reportedly took 23 takes to complete, and by the final one, he admitted he barely made it through. Before we reveal our number 1 pick, let's highlight a few performances that truly deserve recognition. Chadwick Boseman, Get On Up. Chadwick Boseman performed parts of his own vocals in the 2014 James Brown biopic, Get On Up. But when it came to the dancing, every move on screen was his. Michelle Williams, Fosse Verdon.
Isn't it great? Isn't it swell?
She started out knowing almost nothing about Fosse's unique style, but through determination and relentless effort, she transformed herself into a true dancer. Natalie Portman, Black Swan. For 6 months, she trained 2 hours a day to build core strength, then spent another 6 months taking 3-hour ballet lessons, finishing with daily 8-hour choreography rehearsals. Number 1, Donald O'Connor, Singin' in the Rain.
Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh.
This classic is packed with demanding choreography, but few scenes compare to the sheer intensity of Donald O'Connor's performance. We've heard about Debbie Reynolds' grueling training under Gene Kelly, but at least her ordeal didn't land her in the hospital. The legendary Make 'em Laugh routine is both hilarious and punishing. O'Connor flung himself across the set like a living cartoon, pulling off stunts most people wouldn't even attempt without expecting a trip to the emergency room. And just when he thought it was done, a camera mishap forced him to redo the entire sequence from scratch. O'Connor, a heavy smoker at the time, barely managed to push through, and the effort left him hospitalized for several days. The result, though, is nothing short of iconic. And now it's time for our bonus performance, Zendaya and Zac Efron, The Greatest Showman. It's impossible to talk about The Greatest Showman without highlighting the flawless teamwork between Zac Efron, Hugh Jackman, and Daniel Cloud Campos in The Other Side. But for this moment, the spotlight goes airborne. Everyone knew Zendaya could dance, but here, she was literally flying. She performed all of her own aerial choreography, which demanded core strength, grace in midair, and absolute trust that her partner wouldn't let her crash.
Zac and I have really become a team. We're literally tied together up in the air, so we have to have a trust and a connection.
They had to move as one. Every spin, every catch perfectly synchronized. The result is both breathtaking and deeply emotional. A love story told through motion and daring stunts that still leave audiences gasping no matter how many times they rewatch it. Who's your favorite star? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss what's coming next. Your support truly means the world to us. See you in the next video.